laptop, or Bhavani or Mahesh, whoever it might be. Okay. So yesterday we are seeing the differences between Excel application scope and workbook. Okay. So we'll see when it comes to Excel application scope. Wow. Excel. What is this here? There are a lot of activities has been introduced in this question. Usually, like now, when we are into 2021.4.1, we do not have that these many. Oh, sorry. This is modern design. Sorry. Actually, like now, we will see this like now what is modern design and like now this is classic design. So we have another options like now what is modern design and like now how the architecture will change when it comes to modern design. Okay. Give me a minute. I'll close the door. Still, it is the same. Why? Because we have created in the modern design flow. So if you restart it, we would get the same, right? So it will not change the existing workflow type. So after making the changes, if we restart it, it will come to the normal flow. That means the previous design. It will not come into the latest design. So Excel. So when it comes to Excel, so I believe maybe we have only uh, two activities only. Okay, now so Excel application scope. In the Excel application scope, these are all the input files. Shift and right click. So we will get copy as path. So here I will create one variable. Okay. So I can make it as input file path. Okay. So here we will give as input file path and workbook. Control K, workbook. Okay. So we'll see one by one by one activities. So what all the different features are available in this. So under this we have get workbook sheets. So what is the purpose of using this? For example, whenever you are getting an input file, so you need to read different data available in different worksheets. So when you open an Excel, open this Excel file. Okay, this is my Excel file. Okay, for example, like now consider sheet 3. Okay, sorry. So we have different worksheets and we would like to know that so how many worksheets are there, and we need to fetch the data from all the worksheets. See, we have sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. So we have the data in all the 3 sheets. So my requirement would be we need to read data from some particular sheet name, and we have to use that data as input like to the another application. So in that case, get worksheets. So sorry, what is the output? So like see, here we are not providing any input to this activity. So we would get number of worksheets in that Excel file. Control K, sheets. Okay, so here sheets dot count. So we got 3 worksheets. So see, whatever the activities we are seeing now, these are all very important in interview questions. So they will ask you, see, if we have different worksheets in our Excel file, so I would like to pass some particular sheet dynamically to the read range activity. So how you will read the data from Excel? So by using read range, right? So read range activity. So how do you pass it? So how do you know that how many worksheets are available in an Excel file, and how do you pass dynamically the sheet name to the read range activity, or for further extracting the data from Excel? So for that, what we have to use, this is the answer we have to take. But the same, this feature is not available in workbook. Okay, when you go for the workbook, so these are all the only specific activities are available. So we do not have much. So now, so I will say this is the, so how do you retrieve the sheets of data from Excel, from this collection? We have to use for each. For each sheets. So here the type argument, what is the what is the type of sheets? Because the sheets we did not provide any, we did not select this is the type of data it should accept. See, sheets, the variable type is string, it is of type list, of type string. So here by default it is of object. We will see whether we can able to read the particular sheet name or not. Okay, so now we will use item. See, so we are getting sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet. Okay, so how many sheets are there? We will get all the sheets. So this is, there is one difference, if you observe, we are retrieving the data, this type of data. Sheets is a list of strings. Just make it as change the scope of the variable. But whenever we are fetching the data, so here it is type argument as object. So I did not select any, what is this type? Under it is a list of string, but argument type it is. So I did not change to string, but even though we are able to retrieve the value from the list. So in this way, because this output is generated from one of the activity only, so this is not manually generated by humans. How do you know that? What is the difference of keeping it? So here, so we have a phone number of type integer array. So otherwise see here init list in the form of list of integer. So I use one more for each. So where we will use it? Okay, here, because the see, this is the scope of the for each, right? So if you want to use another for each, it should be out of this for each scope. It should not be inside this, because like now it will go for a for loop inside a for loop. Okay, so now I am using this for loop and int list. So here I will, actually we face some issue. I would like to show it. What is the item? Close this. Sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. So even though we are able to read it, in 2021.4.1 version, we face some challenges. So whenever we are retrieving the values, what is the type of data it is, it should be of the same type. It should not be the object. That is the error we faced last time. So maybe they have what is that, in this the latest version they have fixed that issue or the bug. So that is the reason there will be, let's see, always there will be some improvements in our development activities as well. That means what are the activities are either studio or orchestrator or whatever it is, that is the reason always they will update a new versions. Even whenever working on software, so we'll have different versions because always there will be some improvements. So what are the issues are bugs as been identified, defects. So in order to those defects can be resolved, and then they will release a patch. That means release a new versions. Here also it might be the same. Okay, so there is no difference. This is also a software, right? A new, but rather than developing, so we are using that for developing a new automation. That is the only concern. Okay, so here this is the get worksheets, and we'll have get worksheet also. So yesterday we have seen, right? So we see this sheet we will again what is the sheet name. Okay, if you have any specific requirement, so we have to use only the sheet as the input. So we don't want to use other sheets as the input to the application. So we will do that. In Excel. So close workbook. So after you make all the changes, you will close the workbook. So we will use close workbook. So this is also, see, what are the activities we are talking, close workbook. What is the purpose of using close workbook? So we will, in order to close the open workbook, we will use close workbook. Okay, so they will ask you like, no, what is the activity we will use? I would like to close a workbook. So we will use close workbook, and then what is the input we have to provide? So the input is, what is the workbook we have closed, open, that workbook would be closed. So that is the reason I told you. So we have to use, why we will close it, because like no, again if you want to see, there are like no different Excel files are there. So I want to take some data from the one Excel file, and again I want to read another Excel file, like no, to take the some data, and like no, to do some what do you say, some comparisons on the both files. So for that, so once you read the data, so we have to close it. So why? Because so already one workbook has been opened, and if you open another workbook, so the system will get confused, right? Which workbook we need to open? So whether the first one or the second one. So that we will close it. Again, we will create we will open a new workbook. So in that case, there is no confusion with the system whenever it is trying to open multiple files. Sorry. Okay. So for that we have to use close workbook. If you close this once, it is done. So it is closed. Okay. And then, so yesterday I believe we have seen a read row. In the same workbook also called write cell. What is the purpose of using write cell? So write cell is writing the data into the file. Writing the data into the file is nothing but Excel file. That means in the particular sheet. So see, what are the inputs? So input is nothing but the range. So okay, the first one would be destination, where you want to write a value. So in the A1, so already we have the data up to A1, B1, C, A to B, C, I hope up to G or H. So I will give H, and in which sheet you would like to what is that, update it or add a data into the sheet. I will give 3. Okay, and what is the value you would like to put it? What is the value you would like to add into the sheet, or you would, what is the value you add into update into the sheet? From which we have to give H1. There is no H, correct, right? So you should provide H1. And the input value, what is that value? UI path. So even I have given a hard-coded value. So I don't want to use hard-coded value. So what we so here we have to see anyway, because this is under loop. We should not use this under loop, because it will it will do for how many times, how many, what is that, values are there, it will loop all the times. So for that we have to use outside of this for loop. So if I use outside of the for loop, but we won't get the sheet name. like dynamically. So even here we will not use dynamic values. So even this also we have to keep outside of this loop only. Okay. It will be in right place only. So see, I don't need to keep save workbook. Especially I don't need to keep save workbook. Automatically it will save it. When I use this, so I don't like no, it is not at all accepting any inputs. So that means that whether you call this one or not, automatically it will save the workbook. So whatever the changes you made, it will be available under the particular sheet or workbook. Now so it is taking time to save the workbook and close the workbook. Now we will go and see whether any changes has been made into, see, this is the H, right, under sheet 3. So okay, what has happened? So what are the data we try to add into the sheet, it has been data successfully added into the sheet. That is how right cell. So here in the right cell, see, I don't want to use or like no, you see, this is only writing one particular cell value. So here like no, what is the name of the property? It's a range, right? So I can provide a range of values up to H10. Okay, so we can't save. So see, colon provided. So how many values up to, at what value? See, up to H. See, H10 is nothing but this is H2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 up to here. So this is H from H2 to, so up to this, like now what is the range we provided. So this will, the values will applied like now all the rows. I forgot to keep it. So I don't want to hard code it. I don't want to hard code. I would like to take only sheet 3. How we will take it? So we will use if activity. If item dot equals of sheet 3. Okay. So if it is sheet 3, then only assign. Use assign activity. So here item. So 2, where we would like to keep it? Control K, sheet name. So item dot to string. So there is no error. See, in this I can no, this is the simple condition I put. So I can put what are the condition based on our requirements, or some sheet names starts with or end with. Okay, we have we have different what is that? So functions are available inside this. So item so we have to use dot to string dot start with, or so if any one of them is end with. So these requirements and all will be provided in your PDD or SDD. So how you will select the sheet, or you have to apply the logic. Okay, or dot contains. Okay, so is there any some particular if you find out any distinct sheet names, okay, if it is sheet 3, see again, see rather than this, if you use only sheet, so you will get 2 sheet names, because all the 3 sheets you will get 3 sheet names, because all are contains with the sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, right? So if you want to get it only per particular one, means we have to use equals. Okay, sheet name. So in this, so rather than hard coding the rather than providing hard coded value, so I will give sheet name. So if this is the scope, we have to change. See, if the variable is not available, so immediately we have to look into the scope of that variable where it is available, and then we have to change according to the sheet name. Failed setting the current sheet to. What is this error? Original error message. H1 to H10. Oh, data has been, but it is not closed. Data has been data has been updated. I am closing this. Um, so I use close workbook. So fail setting the current sheet to. Okay. See, if you get any some unknown exception, because like no, you do not have idea about what is that exception. The best option is in UiPath. So forum.uipath.com means that there is something wrong in the Excel version. Okay, so I am using licensed Excel. Oh, so what? Get worksheets. Okay, so one of the options they provided is, see, for example, if you get any such exception, what they are telling that, so we have an activity called kill process. So what we have to, what is the purpose of using this? For example, before opening any one of the application, so whether it is Excel or Word or like any Internet Explorer or Chrome, So we have to use kill process. Kill process is nothing but it will close the application, whether it is a Chrome or it is a Internet Explorer or it is a Excel file or Notepad or Word, any file type of the file. So we have to use kill process. So what is the name of the process? It is Excel. It is Excel. So in the process name we have to provide Excel, and applies to, what is this, for all. Okay, so otherwise, so whenever you are killing a process, you will get an interview question like so there are some different files has been opened in the machine where the bot is running. Okay, but you want to close only some application which are related to like no this application. That means like no, for example, like no, by someone has opened any one of the file when the bot is running, so some other files has been like no closed. So I have provided Excel here, right? So only what if the bot credentials are not common. For example, like no, bot credentials are not common means this is my system. So I logged in by using my credentials. Okay. So whenever you are working for customer will provide your like no, they will generate one credentials for you, and you have to log in. And you have to generate, they will generate you your own credentials. You will log into your own credentials and you will do that. So that is for only current user. Who is the current user logged in? Only current session. Current session is nothing but when we logged into that current like no current user and current session. So in my system anyway, like no, those applications will not be, I cannot see that because different user has been logged in, and like now we cannot see those files, right? So whenever if you select this one, so whatever the user has been current user, so all the files has been closed if you provide kill process. But one more thing is like no, it will kill all the Excel files has been opened. So how do you give only particular Excel file has been closed? So here in the process name you have to define that. If you want to kill any particular process, okay, so it will not close any other file. Okay. So now see, execute now. We'll see you will get the same or not, because see now we are like no, multiple times we open and close, right? That is the reason the object will be, an instance will be created in the background. So even though we are getting the same, okay. Mm. failed setting the current sheet to. It is telling that Excel was running something in the background and I have to close the task and open everything into normal. That root cause I believe was I have started the process but the Excel was open, the process could not run and I got the exception. System kept this information but this Excel is still running. Before we did not allow me to use it anymore. No. Excel was running something in the web to close. Okay, we have done that. Solution doesn't work. I have closed Excel already. Okay. So then variable is not declared. Like creating a file using state machine for the same process working same recently convert them in the background using the process background as well as when while in the project. What is this? Okay, so we'll do one thing. The right cell. Go to task manager. Excel. So even in the background also see like now you want to know that so what all the like now how many applications are running because like now we are getting we are facing an issue with the Excel, right? So this is the way like now just go to task manager and click on the processes. These are all the background processor. What are the processes are running? Okay, and when like no, so here we will able to see what all the processes are running. So Excel, I am trying to find out Excel. Excel is not at all running. Okay, so and one more option we do rather than providing dynamic value. So here I will provide sheet 3 and see okay whether we will get the same issue or not. Input files, sample data, so the data is placing, that means it is writing the file into it is writing the data into the file. External data connections has been disabled. Maybe I do not have the permissions to see that file permissions because like now we are not using licensed software, right? This Excel is not licensed software. So make it enable content. save it. Previously I was using another Excel version, even though same. Okay, stop it. So in that I got it along with the Windows 10. Now because of what is that? So I need to install Outlook and do some practice. Oh God. So the reason is we used a variable and we have used hard coded value. So that is the reason we are getting this. Why we are? Because it is an object. Okay, so and try to give a string. Okay, but even though we are sheet name, right? What is the sheet name? Is a string only, but we'll see why we are getting this sheet name dot trim. See, okay, some issue was there. So this is how we have to debug with multiple ways. So now it is already 8, so I have to join I have another training. See, okay, object reference not set to an instance or an object. Got it? Sheet name is string, and but here it is also right cell is a sheet name, right? It is also a string. Sheet name also a string. Why it is getting this error? Okay, we will see tomorrow. Okay, why it is. So before that I will work on this something, and we will get to know tomorrow. Okay, I won't have time. Okay, friends. But this is also one of the what is that, learning. So these are all the, see, you explain in the interview, but they will ask you that how did you resolve that? Because if there is a permission issue, it should not allow even if it is a hard coded value, but that is not the case. we have to find out some workaround for this sheet name, but it is a string, so this is also a string. Strange, no? Okay, so we will see this one. Okay, tomorrow we'll continue. Thank you. Any questions? Okay, bye.